How do we take this to the next level? How do we communicate what this brand is and take it to others in the region and then eventually beyond as well? So that was our charge in kind of coming up with a brand communications plan for Iowa's Creative Corridor. And for inspiration, we, as well as other members of the creative team, looked at pieces like the Holste Manifesto, looked at things that were, about big ideas communicated to many. We also looked at some fun brand communications too, like the Got Milk campaign, which we're all used to seeing, but are wonderfully simple. It's something through 2 words and a little bit of white right here. Anybody can make one of those ads and help communicate what that brand is all about. And of course, the inspiration and aspiration of something like Think Different that was elevated beyond any level of product and more about a bigger message. So in looking at what all of this meant, I kept hearing myself say easy a lot. And it has to be easy to understand, it has to be easy to share, and it has to be easy to adapt. And in so doing, we also realize that creative is a big part of this. And it's a wonderful word, and it's one that we all know and love and understand. However, there's a challenge with it. It comes with a little bit of baggage. Some of us, especially on the business side, may not feel creative. I like to call it the kind of elementary school issue, that we're worried that, our stuff isn't look good in art class. But it's really a much more broad term beyond that. Now, there's also a more complex side to the word creative, with, schools of thought on the creative class and writings on that, but that's almost too hard to teach and communicate as well. Again, it has to be accessible, easy to understand. It all gets back to creating as a verb, to all the great things that are made here in the corridor. Original works in diverse forms, arts, technology, literature, manufacturing, innovative businesses of all shapes and sizes. And of course, the byproduct of all of this, and probably the biggest part, because it's also the engine that drives it as well, is the skilled workforce that creates additionally. So that's where we arrived at what you've seen probably on your tables, up here on stage, out there, were those 3 words of "we create here." And it's one of those wonderfully simple things that, you can read it with the emphasis like we talked about on "we create," all the different stuff that we create right here. But also kind of the secondary meaning that I think many of us have grown to love more is the fact that it is a message that's about all of us creating that makes the here. We're the ones that make the region through everything great that you all are creating, that others are creating, and that everyone's seeing. And again, it passes that kind of tire kick of being something that's easy to understand, easy to share, and easy to adapt. And more than a campaign, like the other examples we were looking to, it's a message equation for arming people who love the region. I like to say that, it's always harder to write things that are shorter than things that are long. So all 3 of those words really have to work hard for the money. And I think that they do. Because if you think about it, it also gives you a little blueprint for talking about Iowa's Creative Corridor. We create here. We, it's about the people, the collaboration. Create, defining creative as all the things that we make. And here, it's the region. This is where we do it. So how does this story come to life? And this is what you've seen at the tables, out there, here on stage. And that's through a lot of these We Create Here brand touch points. Obviously, we have online badges in various shapes, sizes, formats. Another fun version is editable formats of these badges. And not that you are proudly creating edible, because that sounds strange, but rather that you can adapt that to say, proudly creating widgets or whatever it is that you make in Iowa's Creative Corridor. So even that's part of that as well. Stickers, as you can see. And also some stickers that you can have some fun with and fill in the blank, like we're all wearing as well. And of course, as I'm standing in front of, these great stories that there are so many people that have created so many neat things here, that stories are a big part of this. And beyond the frontline brand communications, telling the stories of all of these great people in the corridor that help us create here. And many of those writ large on these posters that you can also find for everyone to take outside afterwards. Would encourage you to do so. But you can see it's a listing of innovators, ideas, and inventions that the corridor is famous for. And beyond being something salesy about why we're so great, I think that something like this is a better testament to all the great things that we've done. Plus, as I said to Andy and Amanda while we were working on this, and when we were compiling this list, there's so many of these things that I don't know, that I forget. And so it also helps educate and arm all of us with these great stories of all of these great things happening. And you can download all of the stuff that we looked at, all of the online badges, and you can also view those great videos, again, from John, at creativecorridor.co.